How is everybody doing on this fine Thursday evening? I am Jay Elson in for Kelly Stewart, and this, of course, is Midco Sports Tonight. Well, as we told you yesterday, the conclusion of the Summit League tournament was far from the end of the hoops hysteria here in Sioux Falls. In fact, it was just the beginning. The NAIA Division II Men's Basketball Championships got underway Wednesday at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, with 32 teams vying for the right to be called national champions. We caught up with the tournament's director to get his thoughts on the event's first ever go-around in the Rushmore State.
The venue itself is one of the best basketball arenas in this area. It offers our student athletes a once-in-a-lifetime chance to play in such arena. It's a very basketball-rich area, tons of history. If you walk through the halls of the Sanford Pentagon, you see all the history for, South Dakota, and just that's why I think it makes a great championship venue for us. First time the student athletes walked into the Sanford Pentagon, they were starstruck. They were pretty excited to be here, knowing that this is a facility that has housed many games from the NBA exhibition games that is currently the home for the Skyforce. Just knowing that they're playing and going to be in the same locker room as some of these professionals, they're really excited to be in that spot. We have a lot of returners from one season to the next, so it only gets better. Our hosts do a great job. The Sioux Falls Sports Authority does an excellent job in the reason why they brought us to Sioux Falls. And just continue that on.
That was Mark Burchard. He is the NAIA's championship manager this week here in Sioux Falls. Among this year's contenders are a handful of squads from our region, including Northwestern College out of Orange City, Iowa. The 10th-ranked Red Raiders, which came in at 26-6 on the season, tipped off their tournament run last night against Bellevue. A couple of South Dakota products would play a huge role in this game, especially late. After trailing by as many as 12 in the first half, the Red Raiders were down 7 with about 10 minutes to go, but that's where Nathan Wadle and Colton Koima took over. Wadle, who played his high school ball at James Valley Christian, sparked a crucial 8-0 run that ultimately gave Northwestern the lead, and they never looked back from there. The Red Raiders outscored the Bruins 26-6 over the final 10-plus minutes to pull away for a 75-62 victory. Wadle finished with 24 points and 11 rebounds, his 5th double-double of the season. Meanwhile, Koima led all scores with 30. By the way, that was enough to move him into second place on the Red Raiders all-time list with 2,404 career points. Up next for Northwestern will be the University of St. Francis out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's at 12 p.m. Friday. The Cougars, who earned their spot in the second round with Wednesday's 83-73 win over Kaiser out of Florida, are 26-8 on the season. In other day one results, Briar Cliff closed in a 13-3 run to get past Oregon Tech by a count of 80-70. The Chargers put 4 players in double figures, led by Jay Wolf's game-high 23. Ethan Friedel, a freshman out of T, South Dakota, chipped in with 9 points along with 2 rebounds and 2 steals in 23 minutes off the bench. Briar Cliff will play St. Thomas of Florida in round 2. That game set for 10:15 Friday morning. All right, now moving on to day 2, we've got 3 more regional teams in action at the Sanford Pentagon, with Morningside, Mayville State, and Dakota Wesleyan all set to play their respective first-round matchups. Mayville State punched its ticket to Sioux Falls by winning last week's North Star Athletic Association tournament in Bellevue, Nebraska. And for more on the Comets, we send it over to Jason and Dara. Jason?
Thank you, Jay. Mayville State head coach Darren Ty joins us now. Darren, you guys come into this tournament, with an 18-10 record, but 7 of those last 10 games did not go your way. I'm not going to bring up the bad points, so you had to find your hard way into this tournament by winning the conference tournament. Tell us a little bit about how you turned it around in Bellevue.
Well, as our team, we faced a lot of adversity throughout the course of the year. We had a really tough non-conference schedule. We played 4 Division II teams and 2 Division I teams. That kind of, took our lumps there, but after every one of those games, we just talked about how we have to still lay a brick. Just because you don't win doesn't mean you don't learn something from that. And we really took that, to heart. And then, those last 7 out of 8 games didn't go great. But the good thing that we kept looking at was, even though we were losing, we were still getting better. And that's how they always say you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. And luckily we stuck together as a team and then had a great tournament.
I've never heard a coach not say they need to be playing their best ball at the end of the season, but you guys are really showing that right now. You talked about some of those tests during the year. NDSU, USD, some teams that we cover here. You got an experience to play against those teams. How did those experiences really translate into some good vibes going down the stretch?
Well, my favorite thing, and I learned this from Coach Jedlow when I was an assistant at Bethany Lutheran College, is when you play those really good teams, you learn what you're not good at. You can go and play a team and win, and kind of the winning kind of takes precedence over the things that you didn't do very well. So we go play USD and we find out right away what we're not good at. So that was great for us. And then actually, playing NDSU a few days before our last 2 conference games, which is kind of weird scheduling on my part, but we played pretty well, and that kind of gave us some confidence that, yep, we can do some things against some pretty good competition, and that really boosted us into that win at the Turbo that got us into the playoffs.
Excellent. First appearance for your team since 2006, 2007, and it comes in your first season as head coach. So I've got to ask you, who's enjoying this ride more, you or the guys?
We're enjoying it together.
Yeah.
There is a great sense of pride from our players right now of bringing Mayville State kind of back to where it had been. Last year, kind of a tough season for our returning players, and I'm just so happy for them that they can be a part of this, and that I can be a part of this journey with them coming through. So we're having a heck of a time right now. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, so you bring some expectations to Sioux Falls, I assume. Is it kind of a national title or bust thing, or how do you kind of evaluate your goals while you're here in Sioux Falls?
Well, we were just talking about in the car with Scott and OB there, and the big thing, and it's kind of what we look for every game, is can we come out and just play harder? If you're watching our games, is it obvious that Mayville State plays harder than the opponent? That's the first thing that we look for. That's the energy piece, and then we just look for execution. Can we execute the scout? Can we execute what we want to try and take advantage of on offense? And if we can do those things and do it together, as the 16 of us working together, then we're good with whatever happens.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time, Darren. Good luck in the tournament. And Darren and the team get stuff going tonight in their game. It's going to be fun to watch. Make sure you get out to the Pentagon and check them out. Back to you, Jay.
All right, thank you, Jandy. Well, from one head coach to another, Dakota Wesleyan's Matt Wilber, kind enough to spend a little bit of his game day with us as well today. And Matt, in some ways, your team is the home team for this tournament. So do you feel a bit of an advantage coming in?
Yeah, it's exciting to be the team playing this close to Mitchell, right? To be that close. But there's a little bit more pressure on that too. It's throughout the season, once it got named to being in Sioux Falls, especially we have to find a way to get there.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of ups and downs to get to this point. We were an at-large team, and being 22-10, we're in the middle of that. So we're excited. We're jacked that it's in Sioux Falls and that we are that close. But we actually had to travel on Sunday with Monday and Tuesday weather. We had to prepare. We played on Thursday, and we've still been over in Sioux Falls the whole time because the roads were closed, and we kind of anticipated that. But we're excited to be here in Sioux Falls.
Well, and you guys have such a tremendous fan base. I mean, you guys pack the Corn Palace each and every night. Are you expecting that to translate over here?
I hope so. You hear a lot of buzz about it. The biggest buzz, obviously with the women playing down in Sioux City at the same time, I think I-29 is going to get traveled pretty heavy these next 2 days. So hopefully, we can get something done here. But I would guess we're going to have a pretty good showing. Watching what the crowd looked like for Northwestern last night, we'd love to have that again. So we're excited. All
right. Well, this is actually your 4th consecutive trip to the national tournament. That's pretty special in and of itself, I think. But how does this particular team, talent-wise, whatever, stack up to those previous 3? Well, we're very different this year than we have been in the past 2 years. We're a little bit taller, we're a little bit longer, we're bigger. My first time we went, the first year in 2015, we had a really talented group and a really good big man there too, a really tight chemistry-oriented team. And then the next couple of years, we were led by a little booger point guard, just a Tate Martin who was just a little water bug out there and was flying around. Now we're bigger.
I don't know if we're as good offensively as we've been with those teams. I think we have the potential to be better defensively than our last two teams. So I don't know if that evens out, but that has been by design, because in our league, you can get away with playing a little bit smaller and being successful. In the national tournament, it changes on you.
Sure.
Everybody gets big quick.
So what has to happen for you guys to have a successful run here in Sioux Falls?
Well, a big thing. It's all about your guards. You know, I think at any level, especially in men's basketball, it's going to be all about your guards and how we handle the pressure from other teams, because everybody really pressures. And our big man, Jason Spicer's got to get some stuff done for us, because he's the guy that we play through.
Okay.
He's our leading assist guy. He's our leading scorer. So we're going to have to be efficient. We're more of a Big Ten style team than we are a GPAC team of run and gun. I think we got to play possessions and being able to handle play half-court basketball.
All right, now, got to have a little fun here.
Okay.
Got to shift the spotlight to you personally a little bit. You've become a bit of an internet sensation here over the last couple of months.
Yeah,
Matt.
I know where you're going
Talk
here.
to me about all these trick shots and how
right.
the heck did
Yeah,
this all get
right.
started?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. You spend your entire life in a gym, right? I mean, we're there as coaches usually an hour and a half before our guys. So sitting around waiting for them to show up, and the film guy is Tate Martin. So he's always blasting me because I don't give him any video creds on the internet. So I'm doing it right here. This is a shot right here. So Tate, you know, the blooper reel would probably be more impressive than the makes. But we're just messing around with it, and it's one of those like, what should we do next? And it's more of a spur of the moment type deal. We don't spend that much time on it.
I don't know.
I said that.
I don't know if I buy that.
Listen, I said this out loud. I was like, hey, to my boss, my president, and my AD, and to my wife, like, this isn't how I'm spending my entire life, is doing trick shots. It's amazing we've made some of those with in a few takes, you know. I mean, and if we get to the point where there's a lot of it, we'll just be like, all right, we can't make this one. We're moving on. Like, we got practice coming. So it's definitely a spare time deal that they started going in. We're just like, well, let's try this one. So crazy.
Does that talent go beyond basketball? Are we going to see some golf shots here in the near future, or what?
No. Well, if you wanted to see, I could do a blooper reel for golf shots too. That might be just as impressive.
That's just out on the course, though,
nothing
right?
successful by any means. Nothing successful.
Well, congratulations, Matt, on what's been a great season already. Good luck to you in the tournament, and thanks for taking a little time with us here today.
Thanks much.
All right, well, when we come back, we stay on the hardwood, but we're going to talk some NSIC hoops. Which teams have a shot to make a run in the Central Region Tournament? David Brown's in with a preview next.